Good morning everyone. I hope that's just glare and it's not a bit of moisture on the camera. Let me just rub that off. Nope. Good morning everyone. As you can see, this is a smallish greenhouse, well, if you can see, that I've put in this bed as a stand to stand some of these watermelons on. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you will know that I bought these watermelons because I felt sorry for them, but more for me because it's another $4 wasted, because I thought maybe there would be a chance of these watermelons coming to fruition before the winter. But I looked it up, and as you can see, there is a male flower there, and it said even when there is a fruit on it, which would be a week or so away, it'll take about 45 days for that fruit to ripen. Now that's about the same time that our first frost will probably come in, so it's unfortunate, but they would have got thrown out anyway, and they're having a little chance of life here. So I will compost those, and I'll take this frame out, and that's a sunny bed, so I'm not sure what I'm going to put in it yet, but they do say you need sunny beds for garlic and leeks and things like that. And I've got my seed order. I've got two, I believe they're called Rose de Var. They're French heirloom garlics. They are a pinky. They look purple to me, but they're pink and white. So it's a French heirloom is what they cook with. They are a soft neck garlic. And yeah, so I looked up what soft neck and hard neck is. The hard neck is a stiffer one, which tastes more pungent, but doesn't store as much as soft neck garlic. So I went for the soft neck, which I'm used to eating. And yeah, I believe it's a soft neck, the garlic in the store here that comes from China. So this is my potato. These are my potatoes, the Dutch cream variety. Now yes, they're way out of date, but again, give them a chance. They are probably forming potatoes, we hope. We've had some cool nights because it is the start of autumn now. Cool being relative, but we've had some 12-degree nights. It has gotten down to 7 point something just before dawn. But it's supposed to be 12, so the forecasts of the degrees over the last week has said 29 to 31 maximum Celsius in the day, 12 minimum at night. I didn't know whether to water these, because some people go, oh, we don't water our potatoes and they grow abundantly. But anyway, so because we had a lot of rain, you might know from other videos that I've made that I mentioned how much rain we've had, but that's tapered off and stopped. And I thought these were pretty moist because they have, sorry about the trolley in the way, I'm in my pajamas, I don't want to get dirty. These are my last set of clothes, obviously, not obviously, but you know, they are. So I've got to do my washing. I haven't been able to do my washing because one of the reasons is because the beds were uncovered, so I've covered them up now, as you'll see soon. But anyway, I gave these a water. I put my hand down, it's so dry, and I was like, oh. So I gave them water, and they're happy for it. They're perking back up because they were all more collapsed than that. So hopefully it's not too late and hasn't stopped the tuber formation, because that can happen if you don't water them enough. But I think the temperatures haven't been low enough quite yet. I think in a week or two they will be low enough to start forming tubers. So if I keep the water up to them now without overdoing it, I think we may get a crop. So as you can see, I have finished this bed. I tried to do it a few days ago. I hadn't eaten anything since the morning, and I came out in the afternoon, in the early evening, and I just couldn't do it. I put a couple of bags of dirt in, and I was about to do another bag, and I just felt like I was going to throw up. I felt hideous. I felt like I was going to die. I went inside and I had a mouthful of coffee milk and some water and started instantly feel better. So I don't have diabetes. It could be blood sugar thing. I've had it before. I've got tested for diabetes a few times. I am extra fat these days, but that's obviously not what it is. It's just a non-fuel issue. So I won't make that mistake again, because it's a hideous feeling. So, I mean, I've had that when I've woken up in the morning yet, but this was doing work on a unfueled body. So at least I can do something about that. That day I had it when it was at dawn. Yeah. So anyway, I like to eat before bed, and in the middle of the night I will eat because I can't sleep on an empty stomach. I know that might not be healthy, but that's just what gets me through. So this is my Jasmine. I've got a little app. I paid like $2.99 or something for it, and you put it against it, and it said this is a pink jasmine. I thought this is a white jasmine, but in its little description it said can be called white, can be called pink. It's got pink. The back of the flowers, the flowers, star-like flowers, are white, and the back is pink. So yeah, it's just, yeah, it's a beautiful scented one. It's the common one that you grow for a beautiful scent. As we go up here, excuse me, I've got a little bit of morning phlegm going on a bit, so I don't really need to gross you out. My boyfriend's got a little bit of cold, which is not good because that's affected his diabetes, and he's had to actually go back on metformin now because he had a virus a couple of weeks ago, just a little cold. We're in Australia, so no, it's not coronavirus, praise the Lord, amen. But now he's got a second little cold. He's had some visitors, his uncle that come down from Queensland, and well, you know, he could have got it off a shop or something. He's very clean and he uses hand sanitizer, but you know, you can't stop people from breathing on your shops and touching your food when you're getting takeaway. So okay, I'm gonna sell a couple of these big plants. You may or may not know I ran a little business from home. You know, I've got an ABN and all that. I'll be cancelling the ABN. I've given up the business really, so well I don't sell anything, but I'm going to sell these stock ones, that big one at the back. I think it's aloe ferox, I think. Going to sell that, and I've got some empty spots here to put the succulents up here that I put. Let me just go up here. Oh, I can smell something. It's like a smoke. Hey Herbie darling, how are you this morning? He said it's pretty cold and I have to get him a taco, which is our little play word for a beanie. So look, it came about because wrapped up like a taco. So yeah, he wants a new taco. I gave him one of my good ones last year, and of course by the end of the winter it's had a little bit of mold on it, so I threw it out. He can have another one of mine. I usually buy at least one every year because it is so cold that I have to wear a beanie to bed every night. These are the Echeveria agavoides ebonies. I'll try and sell those ones off. I sold one, just getting rid of stock. Most of the things here I'll keep, but it's the odd ones I want to get rid of because I really do. I had 3 greenhouses across here, and now I have 2 because I put this third garden across here in. As you can see, it's a more modern one. It's quite flimsy compared to the older ones, which are only like 5 years difference, but anyway. So I've strawed it all now, so I can do my washing finally, without everything smelling like cow poo out here, so that's why I wasn't going to do my washing yet. So these are strawed, and I'm going to grow parsnip because we can do that right now. It's sort of last chance to do it. And I'm going to grow carrot. Unfortunately, for some stupid reason, it says, even though they're similar items, companion planting says you cannot grow parsnip and carrots together. So that's fine. I will grow parsnips and I will grow carrots. This one is a bed that's got a lot more of the new cow food soil. The other 2 have got a lot of that old dry potting mixy water repellent soil, which is good. I wasn't going to put any more of the bags of stuff on there, but it's got to have some nutrients. People say, oh well, the carrots and parsnip will grow funny, but hopefully, and I wasn't going to dig it down, but I didn't really dig it down because it's just too much work for me. So, and my boyfriend can't do it at the moment, and you know, I was feeling crap from the other day, so I just got out yesterday morning. But this, I usually don't come out because I get migraines and the sun is glary, as you can see, but it's a little bit better now that it's start of autumn, so I'm actually out here. So I did the work yesterday morning of leveling all up the gardens with the dirt. I actually still have 4 bags of dirt yet left, which I will put in that watermelon garden and raise that, And I'll put half of one of the bags in the bottom of the jasmine because it looks like the roots might be showing, and I'll wood chip that. I've got some wood chips, so that'll do that. And because I've got the watermelons out, I will have another bed, so that's good. This little greenhouse will go back over here. That's where it used to be. That will protect some of the plants from frost. We do get some mild frost. A couple of years ago we got a black frost or a killing frost. Praise the Lord, amen. I had all the covers on zipped up. One was broken. It had like this much broken in a zip, and it come in and it killed some brand new plants. The black frost was terrible. A lot of people who have never had a problem before lost their plants underneath their verandas. So yeah, but anyway, hopefully that doesn't happen. I've got these little, makes them look like Monopoly houses when you put the plastic on them in the winter. It's cute because they're green covers, but I have these framed ones. The cabbages and lettucey things probably won't need it, but I will cover what I need to cover. I have them there for convenience sake. They do help with holding like taller plants with stakes against it or tying things up. So I do, and it did help in the summer. I draped some shade cloth over, so that did help. So I keep them there for convenience so you don't have to undo them and put them back together. And I've got the covers in the shed, in the garage. So what I want to do, maybe today, I'm not sure, is this is another greenhouse I want to sell. And all those plants will go up in the other greenhouse. It's not great for them because I hope the winter don't get them, but I'll just do what I can. Here we have my new herb garden. What do you think? Just ignore the mess. I've got to tidy up, excuse me, the yard yet. But it is almost dead center. It's 5 centimeters, not enough this side. It's 5 centimeters too much that side. The reason being, I didn't want to go beyond the cement wall there. So it's almost dead center. And it just doesn't look good. You might say it doesn't look good without all that crap there. Yes, no, it doesn't, but that'll be gone. It doesn't look good there with the greenhouse. So I want to open that space up and maybe just put like Rosie in her pot there. Maybe she'll go over there or something, but I will get rid of that greenhouse. I'll sell that for like 20 bucks, just the frame, just like I did the other one, and that will get that out of there. And I'll put all those succulents up in the big greenhouse and deal with that when the time comes. Need to get all those pegs off and start taking them in. So this is my new herb garden. It's one of those new pop ones, slide ones, that some people have trouble with them popping out. I think if you get a taller bed or a wider bed, that may happen. It does look plastic on the edges, but praise the Lord, it is not plastic. That is actually a light metal, including the cap. So that's good. I don't think, and I hope it's not as flimsy as the little white one, the little merino, you know, because if you try and wiggle the metal on that, it wiggles more. But the garden is upside down, that bed. But the actual, you can actually like wobble the tin in your hands, whereas you can't, and it's got nothing to do with the edges, you know. You can, it's actually flimsy in your hands compared to this zinc aluminum or galvanized iron that you see there. So this bed, as I've said before, it cost I think it cost $84 from Bunnings. It's actually 40 centimeters high, which is by my preference, but you can't get higher beds without paying more and significantly more money, because these beds years ago started out at 40, I got them for 30, and not from Bunnings. And this bed now though is 20, so that's great, but you know, it's a loss of quality, which is what I want to say about in a minute about this lovely seat here from Bunnings in a minute. But back to this bed. It is 2 meters long, it is 50 centimeters wide and 40 centimeters high, or the bed is that much deep. So we've got our little lammies that have finally got a nice place without me trying to kick them and break them, because they are hollow inside. We have my lemon thyme in here. We have, I did move it, I had it right there, but when I looked up the spaces between them, I thought, oh, it needs more space. So this is Greek oregano, which is the true oregano. If you go to the shops and you buy, because I've been researching, if you buy dried oregano, it is from the Greek oregano. There is also Turkish oregano and things like that, but if you get oregano in the shops, it is more likely to be marjoram, which is like a wild oregano, and there's marjoram, which is weaker again. It's just, yeah, you will tell the difference. If you come across a Greek oregano plant, compare it to just the normal oregano, the Greek oregano knocks your socks off. It really smells like pizza. So I thought about putting, I've got this mint down here. I scraped it up, the shovel is coming back. I believe it's spearmint, even though it doesn't really look it. It was purchased, the original plant, as peppermint, but it is a mild, sweet, hardly any menthol, and lovely, enjoyable for me who mint upsets my tummy, but this one doesn't. So it's coming back. Also, I scraped it off because I was afraid all the plants before that had rust, like the tomatoes and the powdery mildew on the zucchini, would infect it, and then if I put it in this garden, it would spread it. So I scraped it off, but the new growth, I may be able to pot that up. I won't put it in there because the last thing I want to do is dig around deep here for weeds and, you know, roots of a plant gone wild. Same reason why I won't put parsley in, because parsley can do a similar thing, nowhere near as bad, but again, no. I was going to put rosemary here, but the rosemary I bought from Bunnings had a severe case of powdery mildew, like within a day. So I did have it in the plastic bag, so I didn't, it was probably spores on it, but I thought, no, I won't worry about trying to get my money back. So that's another $4 down the drain, but it is what it is. I was going to treat it, but it just was too bad, too far gone. So I binned the whole thing. It was just a seedling plant like those, but I was going to put rosemary just because this is the most protected spot in the winter. Well, probably that corner is a little bit more. And it is the last place, I believe it is the last place to get sun in the summer and the first place to get shade. So it is great in the summer for the radiant heat in Australia, especially the last few years. We've had really radiant heat. It was radiant this year, but it was a mild rainy summer this year. So we did get like a week where it was 40 degrees, 45 degrees, but we usually get a lot more, and some more weeks of those spread out, especially in February. February is just maximum like 35, 30, you know, it's been rainy. So anyway, I'm not going to put plants in there that are going to be invasive. I'm going to put chives, maybe sage. We'll see how we go. The rosemary will get its own pot because it probably will want more sun. I don't know. But there it is. This junk in the corner, I've got to organise that. My shed is full, so yeah, it'll happen. That little trolley, I will get rid of the tiny little greenhouse that's in the big greenhouse and use that, because these are $40 trolleys I bought for my business that went in every greenhouse. I'm just trying to get under this clothesline. They're starting to get some surface rust now, but they're really good, so I'll keep that. Ladder's been there for a few years now. What looks good? Oh, before I get distracted from that, I bought this bench from Bunnings. It was sold out at my Bunnings, but my boyfriend's Bunnings had this one left. It was sealed and everything, so that was good, but the screws they supplied, the bolts seem to be all right, praise the Lord, amen, but the screws they supplied for the supports underneath, for the little bracket supports to hold, you know, to give more strength to the seat, just snapped off just like a twig. So he's going to have to go back to Bunnings and say, can you give me some more self-tap, because I tried some screws, I've got some good screws, but obviously they weren't self-tappers and they just spun around. So we're going to have to move the bracket that's dead center to the side a bit. And I said, move it this side, because this is the side I'm probably going to sit more, because, you know, that's in the way of the clothesline. So instead of being dead center, it's going to be moved a bit to the side, and hopefully he hasn't ruined the holes. Yeah, you know, it's not gotten threaded, you know, because we had to make our own holes. It's the thing, they weren't even, yeah, because they're self-tappers. I thought, oh, this is good, it's working well, but we had 5 screws and we got the first one in, the next 2 snapped, and so yeah, they just, you know, he's just screwing in and just went snap and snap, so didn't even get to screw it in, like not even halfway, sort of thing. So if they want to give us a new seat, that's not really what we want, because we're too old and unfit to put another one together. It was so bad, like he was leaning against the wall and sweating, and he actually has a little cold, so that's playing with his diabetes probably a bit. And he was just in such bad condition. I said, why didn't you tell me he had a cold? You know, like, I told him he might have a cold, and he didn't really want to admit that that was possible, because nobody wants to be sick. So now he acknowledges. He said to me, I've got a cold, and I said, is it? I said, I thought it wasn't. Oh yes. So I didn't know that until he was having trouble putting it together. I helped him with the base, like with the wooden bits here, but he'd done the back and the sides when I came out, and so I tried to help him with the base, and then underneath, and that all snapped, and that was it. So I was going to buy a seat, a park bench from the Facebook Marketplace, but nobody really wanted to sell me one. Again, I'm like, hello, you know, and then eventually got back to me a couple of days later, and I thought, well, I want one the next day. So, and he goes, oh, sorry, I was working. And I said, sorry, I bought one from Bunnings. So his was like $80, but it was a park bench. One good thing is his would have been probably too long for this area. It would have been solid. It would have been great. I could paint it whatever color I wanted, which I could do this anyway if I wanted to, but I won't. But yeah, I mean, it would have been too heavy. So even if this breaks in a few years, well, we would have got what we wanted, but with it out of it, hopefully. But it's just, if you want to move anything or do anything, you can't do it if it's too heavy, you know. So anyway, I've got to tidy that up too. My boyfriend put all the green cloth away, put it in the garage, and yeah, so it's sitting there because he's on that the way it is, because we need to upend it on the cardboard again, pull it all out here and fix it once he gets those screws tomorrow. So, well, as I was standing here, I thought, well, the pots, the herbs that are invasive, I could put them like there and there. Rosie, as you can see, the rose, she's going to go there, or who knows. But as I was standing here taking some footage of this yesterday, I actually some pictures, I thought those two coloured grasses actually look good there. And if I put them in a nice pot, or at least well, they need to be repotted because they almost died in the summer, but they're coming back now. So as now that I put them up here against the wall, they were in the shady area. So I think they'll look good there. I think they'll look good there. So I'll repot them up in like one of my square terracotta pots or something, and little terracotta plastic pots, and I think they'll look good. So there's not really any room anywhere else for this seat, so it's going to go here. I'm glad it's a little bit shorter because I thought it looked funny, but actually it looks nice. So I'll push it across, and if you sit here, not that I have because it's not supported, and you look here, it looks good, like especially when that's open. This is like the widest area in my yard, so it's almost like it's an open parklandy type area. You won't laugh, but it's a nice spot. Hopefully the spiders that come out of that corner don't come and get me. I think it'll be fine. So that's that. What else do I want to tell you? So today, hopefully, I've got to do my clothes today. Way behind on the washing. So today, if I get a chance, I actually want to plant the parsnips and the carrots, but I need to do the clothes. So I'll do the clothes. I wasn't going to because I wanted my boyfriend to hose this off for me, but like I said, he didn't get a chance, and yeah, so I think it's fine. The pants I've got on that I wore to bed last night because I got my jammies dirty when I came out and helped him. His trousers dirty, so I actually hung them up and just dried them yesterday, and I thought, well, hopefully it'll be all right, and it was. So I'll probably just put the rest out. Sometimes you get the odd whiff of dirt or funkiness, well, maybe slightly cow poo smell, probably coming from the base of the gardens, but not like it was. Or it could be coming from the bags. Little council truck going by. Could be coming from the bags that are left. You see there's 4 bags left in this trolley, and that's what's left of the the sugarcane mulch. So I haven't got much left. What I will do is scrape this off the top and put the dirt in that, and in that one I've got wood chips over in the corner there. Wood chip that because a little bit of roots seem to be, I want to cover that up, and it's a bit low now. So that actually has a base, that one, that's the only one that has a base. And yeah, so I will use the rest of the dirt to bring this bed up, take this rack out, compost the watermelons, and use that last bit of straw. Hopefully it's enough to cover that up. Oh yeah, I can smell a bit of funkiness right here. It's probably this. There's a rooster booster in there. Probably what it is. I have to move that around the corner. So, looking good. What do you reckon? Looking good. I know it needs a tidy up and it needs a hose off, but we've got the 3 beds here, and we have the herb garden, and we have the lovely little bench. So today will be washing and maybe taking that out and selling that rack and putting the plants up in the big greenhouse. What else can I do? Oh, I've got some chores inside and I need to bring all the recycling out. My kitchen is getting full up with things that need to come out, so I will do that. So we're getting there. This dragonfly I bought off Facebook Marketplace about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago, and it's getting faded now. What I might do, there was a nail on the wall already. It wasn't you know, it's to the left sort of bit, but I can't really drill in there. My boyfriend can't drill in there, so there's some paints. You can get some lovely like iridescent paints from Officeworks, spray cans, and I want to do him up and get him back on the wall somehow. There's another project that we're going to do before that. I wanted a little sign to say potager, which is French for the pot, the garden, and my boyfriend found this bit of wood in his yard and just smoothed it off for me. That's going to be the back because of the little cracky bit there. Oh, hang on, that was probably the front actually. Yeah, that might have been the front actually. That's the front. That's just going to be the side, that's fine. But the rest, I must have got a bit of, oh, that's dirt. No, that's just dirt. So I considered putting wooden letters on there, but it's like $17.50 by the time you get the letters, and then when it come down to it, they didn't have all the letters at the shop. So I bought for $5. It was half price. They were originally $10, but for $5 I brought a thick texter from Big W. Smell that rooster booster. And I'm going to write it myself, so don't laugh at my efforts of writing it. I mean, I did want a homemade look, but wanted it fancy. I was like, well, I could have painted it or whitewashed it, sort of look white and put black on it, but boyfriend said with the colour that is now, so I could have bought a white paint pen, but he said black would look better, and I thought, yeah, it looks sort of more French. So I don't, as you can see, the fences here, there is no, you know, they put them around the wrong way here. I guess they wanted the nice look here, but it's really, to say a American term, puts the kibosh on what you want to do with the backs of your thing. You know, this is the only area here that I've got the back of the fence posts there that I can do stuff with. So I wanted the potager sign to be up the other end, but it may go on that sign above these two gardens here. So we're just gonna put a couple of screws in the back of the sign, a bit of string, and just hang it off that. There is no other way to do it. If I can't put anything in the walls, it's too hard, and that there is nowhere to put it. It'd be nice if there was a, you know, a screw or something there, or up here, or, but there's just not. So I considered doing it on here above these 3 garden beds, but I would have to like silicone it to the wall, and yeah. Anyway, that's what's happening in my garden. So I hope you are getting out and doing something in yours. I believe you are going into spring. We work on calendar days, as in our seasons start on the first day of the relevant month. So the 1st of March was the first day of autumn for us. I've heard that you guys over there start halfway, like 15th or something, you know, follow more the natural calendar. So Herbie, what do you reckon? Reckon doing all right? You still need a haircut, don't you? Yeah, and I'll find you a taco, darling. All right, sign off, Herbie. He said bye, and hopefully I'll make another video in a day or two and I'll have some of this stuff done. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope this inspires you to get out into your garden and do a bit of a tidy up or do a bit of planting. See you next time. Bye.